this is Peter Propp, and the timer just started.
I'm John Blossom, and welcome to another episode of 10-Minute Strategy. Today, Peter and I are going to be talking about hot new social browsers, RockMelt and Skyfire.
Right.
Peter, it seems like people are trying to get all their social information in one place.
Right.
And browsers are one way that people are trying to do it out there.
Exactly.
What do you see happening with RockMelt?
Well, RockMelt just came out. It was many of the same people that worked for Mark Andreessen on the original Mozilla browser, Netscape browser, and the browser is quite powerful. As you've noted, it's built off of the Chromium base, so the tabs look a lot like Google Chrome. What I've found is that there's some really terrific benefits to the browser, and not only on the social side. The first thing that I notice is the speed for this browser is incredible. And I intend to load no plugins to this thing and just let it ride, because it is really fast and it's a great browsing experience.
Of course, one of the reasons there is that any new browser is empty. It doesn't have the extensions and the plugins and what have you. So it's always going to be a little bit faster.
Right.
But obviously this is a browser tuned for a very specific purpose.
Absolutely. So I think the notion behind RockMelt is that we know you're on these social media, we know that you're spending time with Facebook and Twitter, and you've got your RSS feeds. We want to make your day of browsing simpler. And so what they've done is, on the left-hand side are all your Facebook friends who are live online at that given time. And you can click on those that are live, and you can chat with them, or you can just look at what they've posted recently. The chat function is excellent. It's very big, it's very easy to read, and if you want to get back to your browser, you just click on the middle of the browsing page and it goes off to the side again.
And of course it also integrates in other social networks as well. So you're going to be able to go out there and have conversations if need be with people in Twitter.
Right.
And we assume eventually so on as they begin to work on the browser more.
Exactly. So Twitter right now at this point shows up on the right. Your Twitter stream is there. You can see what people are saying, and you can explore that functionality. It does an excellent job with looking at shows that produce videos on a regular basis. So the Daily Show does a feed of just of videos, and you can read the transcript of what you're going to get, or the abstract, and watch that video very quickly. Huffington Post, anything that has an RSS feed, you can capture it along the right-hand side, and it tells you when there's an update. So if you're up to date on it, you don't have to look at it because it's there.
And it's aware of what you're looking at in your social networks.
Right.
So it's picking up links from Facebook and Twitter and other
Right.
things. So it's constantly looking at both your things and the things that the people in your social network are looking at.
Right.
It's kind of almost an automated Facebook, if you will.
Right. It's doing a lot of tricky stuff behind the scenes, but it's a very fast browser. It's very strong function for Facebook, and I think importantly, for someone like me, I've always had some RSS feeds that I knew about. I know there's a spot where I've captured the ones that I watch, but frankly, I never had looked at them on a regular basis until now. And RockMelt has truly made RSS feed consumption 100 times easier than it was for me in the past. So if I don't know if I'm the typical consumer, maybe a little more techy. I think for any consumer that knows there's such a thing as RSS, all of a sudden they're going to have an opportunity. They don't even have to know what RSS is. They just have to know that there's sites they go to a lot and look at them. When you download the browser, not interrupt, when you just set up the browser, you're looking at it, it recommended some feeds that you don't even subscribe to necessarily, but are interesting to you.
Yeah, it makes feeds social is the simple way that I put it.
Right.
So, what people are able to do in Facebook today, listening to what their friends are recommending, their friends recommending content sources are going to make feeds more accessible through tools like RockMelt.
Right, and it's very easy to do. Also, they've done a great job of getting access to RockMelt a viral, fun thing. So I've given out a half dozen or more invitations to RockMelt. I gave one to John, I've given one to my kids and some other friends, and when I've given them all out, they give me more to give out. So they're doing an excellent job just on the marketing side to do things in a limited, viral, recommended by someone that you respect sort of manner, which is a great way to get a new technology out there.
And of course, RockMelt's not the only game in town.
Right, yeah, so John, you're going to talk about Skyfire.
Yeah, Skyfire is kind of interesting. Skyfire is a browser that got life at first because people wanted to do Flash videos on Apple platforms such as iPhone and iPad. There were some little kinks there with Flash support there for a few months, but it's back for Apple platforms, and it's being launched on Android platforms as well. In addition to making it easier for people to access Flash videos, it also has social integration and recommendations built into the browser also. So you can go down there and share content more easily via Skyfire using some of your pre-existing share settings, and if you're using an Android phone, and you can get recommendations on content that's related to what you're looking at based on both the content and what people in your social network are looking at.
Right.
So again, there's this layering of social on top of existing social networks, which seems to be that people are crying out for something more than has been made available by any of the social providers.
Right. And social networking is obviously here to stay. There's people that are doing it actively, but then I think people are realizing I don't want to spend all my day on Facebook, but I want to know when friends are on board. I want to know when there's new information in my stream. So it's a very good way to keep up with your social networks without having to take over your whole life. But let's get back to Skyfire a second. You and I looked at it, and we're pretty critical about this sort of stuff, but what's your impression of Skyfire as a browsing experience?
It's a so-so browser. I think that it's something that can evolve, and hopefully the social features evolve in it as well. I think it's extremely popular on the Apple phones right now because the fact that they can enable Flash content. As a matter of fact, they had to stop downloads of it onto Apple platforms because they just ran out of bandwidth to be able to support them.
Right.
As a social browser, definitely not where RockMelt is today, but it's on mobile platforms, so that's a little bit of a leg up. We're going to see this cross-platform battle here to own the social context.
Right.
And some of it's going to be through portals, some of it's going to be through browsers.
Right. And I think Internet Explorer is coming out with a new version I saw recently. There's an Internet Explorer 9.
Yeah, IE9 is out there.
Yeah, so I haven't looked at it yet, but maybe we should take a look at that for a future show. One thing I wanted to relate regarding Skyfire is, and you didn't have this issue on your Nexus 1. John's one of the few Nexus 1 owners on the planet. But
can't help you.
When I tried to look at a video, a Flash video that I know has audio, I could hear it through the headphones. I was unable to play it through the speakers of the iPhone. So there's an aspect to the Skyfire integration that at least is not working on the 3GS. It may be working on the iPhone 4. I'm not sure, but certainly if you're looking at video, part of the fun of looking at video is sharing it with a friend when you're sitting next to them in line for the school bus or whatever you're doing. So it's much less interesting to share a video by sharing a headphone. I think unless it's your girlfriend.
I hope that you're listening, folks, at Skyfire.
Right.
But it's a good first shot, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of this in the months ahead. And as Google itself begins to roll out more social hooks for cross-portal, cross-platform integration of social, I think we're going to see these sorts of things accelerated on top of the Chromium kit and other platforms.
Right. Well, I think that's about it. Our alarm is going off in 3 seconds. It's been, we're really excited about RockMelt. Just to wrap up, we're very excited about RockMelt. We think Skyfire could be a little better, and certainly new versions will improve the experience, I'm sure. But for 10 Minute Strategy, my name is Peter Propp. Come see us again.
John Blossom, thanks very much.